Okay, so let me show you guys what I'm doing, okay? This is the matcha that I got, by the way. It's Matcha Ninja Pure Organic Tea, Cold Brew Matcha, blah blah blah. And yeah, and I will definitely put the link here. So yeah, so what you do is you add it's the measure, like how much you add and everything is written there. But I'm gonna go just with, honestly, how, just guessing, and it's okay, like I have done it so many times, like these things, I'm good at that. So I'm gonna add, so this is actually, let me tell you, this is 1 teaspoon, okay? I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon because I want to make it like heavy. And this is mason jar, you can obviously use anything. So let me show you what I'm doing. Okay, so what I did is I sometimes use non-dairy milk. I mean, there's no hard and fast rule, but this recipe that actually I'm trying, that I'm inspired from, you can say, I'm not exactly trying the same thing. She used almond milk, and I substitute milk a lot with almond or coconut milk. So I've added 1 teaspoon of matcha in this mason jar, and then little bit of almond milk and little bit of maple syrup to taste. And then what I'm going to do is, before filling the rest of the mason jar with the milk, I'm going to just shake it. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to close the lid so when I shake it, it doesn't leak. And say I'm gonna add more milk because it's not dissolving the rest of it. Okay, so I added whole lot milk, and then you just shake it. Basically that's what I'm doing, shake it. Actually, you can obviously use a spoon, like I can use a spoon. Okay guys, so look at this pretty color. I did end up adding a little bit more, and you know, that's the thing, you can play with the amount you want to add, and then you can play with the amount of milk you want. It really depends what you're looking for, but ideally it's just you want to add 1 to 1.5, I would say, teaspoon of matcha, and then just fill this mason jar until here. I added another half teaspoon, so for me it was 1.5 teaspoon. And like I said, I obviously experimented, I tasted, and I'm like, oh, I need more of that matcha flavor, because I was tasting milk more than the matcha, right? But I do want the matcha flavor to come out a little bit more strongly than it was. So I added in total 1.5 teaspoon of this matcha powder, and then this almond milk until here, and then I shake it. Shaking it is, you have to really shake it well, okay? And shaking it is the only work that it's gonna take. But you have to do some work, okay? So it's not gonna be a magic. So yeah, and then guess what? And then I took it to another level, and then then there's this heavy whipping cream. I added a little bit in this bowl, and then just a few drops of vanilla extract, a little bit sugar, and then I'm gonna do a magic. You'll see what I'm going to do. Ta-da! Whipped cream on top of the matcha. This is the best thing ever. Ta-da! This is the whipped cream, this is the matcha, and I am so excited to try this. Okay, so this is a matcha tasting session. This is so good. Hey guys, good morning. It's morning here, but good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on whatever time zone you are at. I actually figured I should start also like intro section. I was looking back at my videos, and I was like, wow, you know, I don't have like an in-person intro section where I'm like saying hi and just like welcoming all of you to my video or my channel. So yeah, so this time I didn't forget, so that's good. So Well, I can always add that later, so that's not a problem. But I don't know, in my mind, it's like you have to do it before you start the video. So, and that may change later. Anyway, so good morning. And today I am actually going to, let's see. So yeah, it's morning here. Good morning. And so today I'm going. So today I am going to actually make matcha. I have been really into matcha. There are phases that comes and goes in my life, but I've been in a phase where I'm really into matcha, and also because I think there could be many reasons, honestly, like subconscious reasons. So consciously, I don't know why, but one of the reason I guess I can share is it's because I'm trying to cut down on caffeine. I mean, I don't drink that much coffee anyways. Like I would drink once. Okay, let me do this. So okay, so I would drink like once one cup of coffee, like one cup of coffee per day, and then yeah, I would drink like one cup of coffee per day, which is not bad. But then there are times when I feel like, especially like I don't know, like I feel like I'm talking a lot about my periods, and but it's just such a thing in my life. I don't know, like I have like half, honestly, like just don't know why. Like it is a very big part of my life because it's like, oh, it's like 10 days like honestly like 10 or maybe 7 days before it and then 7 days into it. It's just like a very different phase in my life, so no wonder I do talk about it so much. And like recently I think it got worse with how, like, the with the symptoms and the emotional stuff and everything. So I think recently it has become like the PMS symptoms, and just like into the periods, all the pain and everything, it got worse. So that is why, if I do bring it up, it's not because I love that topic, but I mean, well, there's nothing wrong in loving that topic, but it's also because it is such a heavy part of my life and such a big part of my life. And I honestly really feel like people need to like really, like, of course you don't want to make people uncomfortable, and you want to be respectful to them that way. But at the same time I feel like, I really hope to break that stigma so that more women can like talk about it, because it is such a thing. I'm telling you, like, especially like some women, they don't really have any problem, like they won't even know when it came, when it went. But for a lot of women, and including me, it is such a big deal. And again, like, there are phases in my life when, everything is great, I think you can say that, and then I don't really like suffer that much, you can say. But there are phases like this current phase, which has been, I guess, like very heavy emotionally for me, and then it affects that process. Well, why am I like not saying it? It's periods. I mean, it's okay. I don't know. I think because when I grew up, there was such a like shame factor around it. But okay, but at least I'm trying, and I really hope that more people try, and of course use your wisdom. You're not gonna talk about it like during dinner or like when you're going in a bar or a club, right? But of course use your wisdom. But again, the reason I like brought it up was because I do have to think a lot about my routine, especially at this phase of my life, because my emotions are affecting that physiological process, and that's just very like normal in that sense. So yeah, so I have to think a little bit more than usual, and around this time. So, and it will connect to matcha, I promise. So but I do have a point. So the thing is that, with going back to that phase. So yeah, so I'm at this phase where like my periods are like, it does affect me a lot. And the thing is that it is like 10 days beforehand, that I sort of like start to feel I'm gonna like have it, and I have to prepare myself, and in the sense that I will be really, and recently I've been really, because it has been so bad, like I was like literally bedridden, I'm not even kidding. Like I cannot like get, like I would get up of course, but like it's I don't even know honestly how to not be negative about it. I really have been trying, but like fuck trying honestly. So it has been at this phase in my life, it has been like really, okay, at this phase in my life it has been really bad. Okay, so what happens is that like 10 days before I get it, I kind of like sense it. And of course, there's a window when it's gonna happen, when the magic is gonna happen basically. And so, but the 10 days prior to it, like I said, I kind of sense it, and so I would start like preparing for it. And because the last few times it was so bad that now I'm like almost paranoid, of course, to a point that I'm talking to you guys about it, right? But there's a reason, it's really bad. Like I almost want to die. Like I'm not even kidding. Last time I almost felt like I'm gonna like die, like I'm gonna kill myself. It was so bad. Yeah, so no wonder I'm paranoid. So, but the 10 days before it, I have to prepare in the sense that what I'm eating, what I'm thinking, because emotions, damn, like they are like a big deal in your physical health and in your physiology. They play such a big role because emotions are related to stress, right? Like what you're thinking. I guess it starts with thoughts, and then it goes to, those thoughts will lead to certain feelings, and those feelings will evoke certain emotions. And then based on those emotions, either it would stress you or it would calm you. And if it stresses you, it would cause inflammations, and inflammations are related to all kind of physiological mishaps, you can say. So there's a whole science behind it. Of course, I mean, I don't know a whole lot, but I do know that inflammations are basically caused due to stress also. And then just go back to the loop, what I just shared. So okay, where's the good lighting? Let me look for, okay, this is not bad actually. So okay, I'm actually really grateful. Wow, the lighting is so good. I'm actually really grateful for, but the pimple, it's okay. There you go. So I'm actually very grateful that for this opportunity to be able to vlog, and I like that I can vlog about anything and everything. I just hope to, wow, just going back to the period stuff. So yeah, so I have to prepare like 10 days ahead of it, and then when I'm into it, I'm like in my bed basically just wishing to die or kill someone. It's usually die or kill, I don't know, it depends really. And then so you can say that like it's like 10 days before it starts, and then you can say like 7 days, so like 17 days, so that's like half of your month is screwed basically. And so of course it's a big deal, right? Of course. Oh my god, I'm so emotional about this, but it is a big deal. I'm telling you, you know what, I don't have to be sorry, I don't have to feel bad about it, because it is a big deal. So the reason I started talking about it is that, and again, like it is a big deal, but like there are phases, like so, yeah, so at least I'm aware, so I can take better care of myself. And then so I can take like better care of myself, and I can be prepared beforehand, which is great. So yeah, so I was saying that I can, so matcha, where did matcha come into play? Okay, so matcha came into play because before my period starts, I just have to be very careful of what I'm eating, because it really does determine how bad it's gonna be. It's still gonna be bad, by the way, but like how bad it's gonna be, right? So if I lessen my intake of caffeine in that window, it actually helps. I don't know the science behind it, no idea, but that helps. That's my experience, because I've been trying, of course, how to make it less bad or less painful, so I don't have to suffer as much for those, you can say, like almost half of the month, right? Half of the month is exaggerated, but like, yeah, like almost like 10-15 days. That's a lot. Okay. So yeah, so I've been really like into like trying different things, what to eat, what not to eat, and then how to really like focus on my mental health, and all of that. So what really helps is, for sure, ideally, of course, you should have a good routine throughout your month. You should always eat healthy, or should always work out. Good luck with that. I cannot do that. And like I said, when there is, when you have a lot on your plate, which is the case for me right now, it's even easier to, or it's even more hard to focus on your habits and your routine. But that's why I think building good habit is so crucial. By the way, I'm realizing if you already make good habits, and if you're dealing with, and even if you are like really busy, if you get busy, if it gets really hectic, you can hold on to those habits. And that is why I'm realizing that building good habits and it's so important, so you can hold on to it during crucial times of your life, which obviously will happen again and again, because that's life. So where was I? Where was I? Let's see. Okay, where was I? What was I talking about? Okay, matcha. Oh my god, matcha. Poor matcha, ignored in this whole story. And this video is about matcha. Okay, so yeah, so I make myself laugh. I think that's good. That's really good. If I can make myself laugh, then I think that's really good, right? So yeah, so cutting down caffeine. Yeah, so cutting down caffeine, and matcha has caffeine, of course. Like, it's not, oh god, it's not that it doesn't have caffeine. It has caffeine, but it doesn't have as much caffeine, and since I really cannot resist like a caffeinated beverage on a daily basis, I like have to have one coffee every day. Rarely I won't, and I'm trying to like be okay if I don't have it, basically. But okay, yeah, I'm trying to be okay if I, so much stuff in my room, so so I'm trying to be okay if I don't get caffeine. But it's like there's so much, right, you have to work on in your life. So if caffeine gives you happiness and that kick, then go for it. Don't beat yourself down on what the hell, right? Like, just enjoy caffeine. But anyway, so lighting is important, especially when I haven't washed my face. Okay, so yeah, so I was saying that caffeine is important for me. Okay, so get it. Okay, so caffeine is important, but like I said, before my periods and around that time, around that time, I cannot drink like regular coffee, which has a lot more caffeine than other beverages, in this case matcha. So that's where matcha comes into play, because it has caffeine. So I feel like I'm drinking something, but then it doesn't have that much caffeine. And the other thing is that there is that flavor of like green tea. I like that flavor, but then I have been in this phase where I actually really want to enjoy the bold green tea flavor, not the green tea flavor, which is a very diluted flavor. But like matcha has like this heavy green tea flavor. And even with matcha, I have been experimenting a little bit, and I realized that even matcha, like I've tried matcha from a couple of places, I really don't like it. And it's not that I know what matcha tastes like, but even then I don't like it because I know this is not how it should taste like, right? And it should, like, I'm looking for a matcha that is like bold, rich, and like cold. And I'm into cold brew, so like it's cold brew matcha, cold, heavy, bold, smooth, not too sweet, and then then I can just upgrade it or customize it, whatever. So yeah, I've tried a couple of matcha here and there. I did not like it, so I was like, okay, what do I do? Not that I was thinking and consciously thinking of it, because who has time for that? Well, I do. I love food actually, so I do. But no, I wasn't doing that, but I follow some vloggers, and there's this vlogger, and I will give her credit, and I will link her video that inspired me to try this particular matcha. It's not from a place, so I don't have to go out. I'll have to make it here at home, and and even with recipes, by the way, I've been looking at recipes on YouTube, and there are so many recipes that take so much time. And it's like, okay, I want matcha, like a good matcha, but I don't want to spend that much time. I don't want to spend that much ingredient. So how do I make it like simple, easy, and like quick, but still tasty, bold, rich flavor, and like that kick of matcha and some caffeine? So how do I like really incorporate, I know, right, all of that? And this lady, like this, she's so pretty, by the way. It's like, no, I'm straight for sure, but like she's really pretty. So she's a vlogger. She's a Canadian vlogger, and she is originally from Russia. She's lived in Israel. She has a very interesting background. And I kind of relate to that just a little bit because I have lived around India. Like I lived close to Nepal, and then half of my family is Nepal. Then I lived in India. Don't even ask me where in India. We just moved around like crazy. So I kind of relate to that. Of course, she moved around countries, which is even a big deal. But she's really nice, and I have been following her vlogs a little bit. And I got inspired to try this brand that I think is they made it in Japan, and they sell it. I got it from Amazon actually. They have it in Amazon. They do run out of stock, so I got lucky and I got it. And I actually was supposed to receive it in 2 months, but I received it in like 20 days. So I feel lucky. And all you have to do is, you'll see, all you have to do is just like just measure the amount of the powder and then add almond milk. Just shake it, shake it, shake it, and then ta-da, that's that. So let me show you. So a lot of it will be bloopers. So the world is a beautiful place to live, and my feet are beautiful, and I think I'm not too ugly. Okay, let's get to matcha. This is how much energy I have. Seriously, I have a lot of energy. I don't know, or anxiety. God, so much energy. I don't like it. What do I do with this energy? People say it's a good thing. I don't like it. I will be honest. I wish I had less energy so I could just sit and read or something. It's definitely anxiety, by the way. It's not energy. Let me be clear. But anxiety, energy, rita, rata, whatever, right? Okay, so let's get to the matcha part.